Providing a service, OCR National Level 2 in Business. We are currently working towards Assessment Objective 2, which relates to business aims and objectives. A business aim is something that they want to achieve, and so far we have looked at profit. How businesses make sure that they cover all of their costs with their sales revenue so that there's money left over at the end of the day which can be reinvested in the business or paid out to owners or shareholders. Market share, how businesses work to take customers away from their competitors so they can make more profit in the long term. Quality, how businesses use methods such as quality circles, quality control, total quality management to ensure that the products that they make are of high quality. This is important because that's what customers are looking for when they spend their money. They want value for money, they want to know that they've bought a quality product. The higher the quality, the more customers will be prepared to pay. The more a business gets a reputation for quality, the more customers they're likely to get, the more market share they're likely to get, and the more profit they're likely to make at the end of the day. The last aim that you need to be aware of is providing a service. And you need to be able to fulfil the 3 learning objectives. Firstly, you need to be able to differentiate between the private and public sectors. Secondly, you need to discuss why it's important for organisations in each of those sectors to provide a service. And finally, you need to be able to discuss what private sector organisations actually do to provide a service for their customers. We're aware of businesses that sell products to us. The products that are made are something physical that we can touch, but the act of selling those products to us is actually providing a service. But providing a service can be wider than just selling. It's about doing something for your customer. For example, hairdressers provide a service by cutting your hair. Banks provide a service by looking after your money while you're saving and lending you money if you want a loan or an overdraft. A gym provides a service by allowing you to go in there and use their facilities. If you provide good customer service, you are meeting or exceeding your customer expectations. So, if you come out of the hairdressers feeling really pleased with your new hairstyle, that's good customer service. There are 2 types of organisation in the UK economy. There are those organisations that are owned by the government, and those are said to be in the public sector. So, public sector organisations include hospitals, schools, libraries, leisure centres, police, armed forces. All of those organisations are said to be in the public sector. They're owned and controlled by the government. In the private sector, we've got all of the organisations which are not owned by the government. So, all the sole traders, partnerships, private and public limited companies, charities, all of those businesses are in the private sector. So, the businesses where you and I mostly spend our money, either on goods or services, tend to be in the private sector. So we're talking about businesses like Sainsbury's, Lloyd's, British Airways, Boots, Fitness First, Francesco Hair Salon. All of those businesses are in the private sector. They're not owned by the government, and generally speaking they run to make a profit. So if we think about businesses that are owned by the government, why do those businesses have to provide a service? Well, generally speaking, public sector organisations don't actually make any goods. Providing a service is their core activity. So think of Great Worley High School. We don't actually make anything. The lessons that you receive and the support you get from teachers to get you through your qualifications is in fact a service. That service might appear free to you because you don't pay every day to go there. Perhaps if you had to pay when you arrived at the school gate, some of you may not always come in. So, the government provide that service free at the point of consumption because they want everybody from the age of 5 to 16 to go to school. So, nothing can be free. The money for those services has to come from somewhere, and the money for public sector organisations comes from tax. So you and your parents pay for schools, hospitals, leisure centres, police, fire brigade, armed forces. You pay for those and I pay for those through our tax. When we spend our money, we pay VAT on most of the things that we buy. So you do pay some tax, even though at the moment you're not earning any money. Your parents will pay income tax on the money that they earn from their job, and businesses pay corporation tax on the profits that they make. So public sector organisations are paid for via tax. So it is important that public sector organisations like schools provide a good service, because we need to demonstrate to the taxpayer that we are giving value for money. So public sector organisations are inspected by independent bodies to ensure that they are doing just that they're providing a good service and giving the taxpayer value for money. So Great Worley High School will be judged on results day. We'll be placed in a league table based on our GCSE and A-level results, so parents can judge the performance of our school. The better the school performs, the more students want to come to this school. Also, we've got inspectors like Ofsted who come in to make sure that we are following the regulations that are set down by the government in terms of the national curriculum that we should be teaching, and that we are running an effective school and providing an effective service to you, the pupils. So it is important for public sector organisations to provide a service. In the private sector, organisations that don't provide a good service won't get any repeat custom, and eventually they won't make any sales revenue and they won't make any profit. So it's really important also for businesses in the private sector to provide a good service. If you weren't happy with a haircut that you got from a salon, you wouldn't go there again. Chances are you'd tell your friends not to go there as well. So it can have a really big impact on that business. Sometimes good customer service will be the factor which makes a business stand out from their competitors, so it makes customers choose them. So then they get more customers, make more revenue, make more profit. So how do private sector organisations actually provide a good service? Well, service happens from the second that you consider buying from that business. Businesses can provide a good service by having a decent website, for example, something that's easy to navigate, where you can find the information that you want to on their products and services. It might be that they provide a good service when you actually go into the shop, so you're greeted by someone who is friendly and helpful and knowledgeable and able to give you product information and advice. So, for example, I've recently bought a new car. I was originally thinking about buying a diesel, and it wasn't until I discussed with the salesman my requirements that I learnt that I don't actually drive enough miles in a year to warrant having a diesel car. Diesel actually costs more to fill your car up, and unless you drive a substantial number of miles, it isn't worth it. So I ended up buying a petrol car because of the limited mileage that I do to and from school. So that sort of advice is providing me with good service. Delivering goods to customers can be good service. If you buy things off Next website, if you order before 9 o'clock, they'll deliver the goods to you the next day. So very often that might be more convenient than even going into the shop. That's good service. Providing after-sales support. So if you get your laptop from Dell and you have difficulty connecting to the internet, if you've got someone you can ring to help you set up your laptop, so configure your printer, configure it for the internet, that's after-sales support. That's providing good service. Sometimes providing a service relates to giving customers an opportunity to buy now and pay later. As we get closer to Christmas, you'll see more and more adverts for this on the telly, with businesses trying to persuade customers to get a sofa or a dining room table or whatever before Christmas. And they say, you can have this now, we can deliver it before Christmas, you don't need to pay us for another year perhaps. That's good service, or that's one aspect of service. And finally, probably the most obvious example of customer service is dealing with customer queries and complaints when they're actually in the shop. So when you're looking for your Reggae sauce in Sainsbury's and you approach somebody and they take you to where that sauce is and show you where it is and help you to find it, that's good service. If you buy something that you're not happy with and you take it back and the person who's dealing with your complaint or your query then is helpful, and you walk away feeling as though that complaint has been resolved effectively, that's good service. When I was in the sixth form, I used to work for Tesco's, and I worked on the customer service desk. And I remembered a time where somebody had brought a pie back that had got a hair in it. Now, obviously, that is a real serious hygiene issue, and that customer really wasn't very happy. So we gave them a refund on that pie, and we gave them a credit voucher that they could spend in the store. So that was actually giving the customer something for free, because they'd had bad service from us previously. It gave us an opportunity to improve that service the next time around. They were going to use that credit voucher in our store, buy something else. Perhaps we could do a good deed to overcome the bad service that they'd had from us in the first place. So all that sort of thing is good customer service. Dealing with things for customers when things go wrong, but also helping give customers the support and advice they need to buy your products. So why do businesses need to provide us with good service? Well, in the public sector, we're looking at value for money for taxpayers. So we're looking at league tables, and we're looking at reports from independent inspectors. And that is why they provide a good service, because that's who's being judged, that's how we're being judged, and that's the directive that we get from our employer, the government. In the private sector, it's much more simple. Businesses need to provide us with a good service, so we go back. If you're provided with a good service, you'll visit that business again, you'll provide them with more sales revenue, and give them an opportunity to make more profit. If they're providing a service better than their competitors, then they're likely to take customers away from their competitors, so they'll be able to increase their market share. And at the end of the day, both of those help a business increase its profits, so it's in their best interests to provide us with a good service. Okay, so what do you need to do now? Well, customer service needs to be the final aspect on your AIMS leaflet. So you need to insert a new page on your AIMS leaflet, you need to put a title providing a service, and you need to work through the writing frame provided by your teacher. If you have a look at the screen in front of you now, you can see the sort of things that you're going to be looking for in order to achieve each of the levels. So to get a pass level, we're looking for you to explain service as an aim and identify a business you think that's working towards providing a good service. So you will have an opportunity to look on the internet for businesses that are providing a good service to customers. So you want to look for things they're doing for customers that go above and beyond. So things like delivery, credit facilities, looking at things like after sales support, looking for helplines or forums that people can use. That's the sort of thing that you're going to be looking for. That will help you achieve a pass level. To achieve a merit level, you need to be able to explain how each of those aims might be calculated or measured. So you need to give some thought to how we might measure customer service. Obviously you can't calculate it, but how might you measure it? How can you judge how effective a business is at providing a service for its customers? Think about perhaps their revenue, their profit. If a business is profitable, is it providing a good service? Who might you ask to find out if a business is providing a good service? What might you do to actually see the service that a business provides? Some businesses have a mystery shopper. They have someone who works for them but goes round not in uniform and actually goes through the shopping experience. So goes and gets a trolley full of goods, asks somebody for help, asks if they see if they're going to get asked if they want help packing, see if they get asked if they've got a nectar card, or if they want cash back, those kind of things. So a mystery shopper might be one way of judging how well a business is providing a service. Are there any others that you can think of? You need to also, for merit level, explain why you think each of the businesses you've mentioned is working towards that aim. So why you think your business is working towards providing a good service. For distinction, you're going to need to provide evidence from their website to support why you think they're working towards providing a good service. So screenshots of the things that they are going to do. And you also need to discuss whether you think that aim is suitable and achievable for the business that you have discussed. So you can use the textbooks, you can use this presentation, you can use this screencast to help you do the writing frame for your providing a service aspect on your leaflet. Okay then, it's over to you.